It's Christmas time. This small business is in danger. There's lots of awkward heterosexuality, and I'm here to review them.
Well, it's day 9 of the 12 days of Christmas movie reviews, and if you've been following along, you must be thinking, hey, aren't you late? Wasn't day 9 supposed to be yesterday or a couple days ago? And well, in the case of this movie, it seems fitting that I'm following along with CPT, or as it's called, in my case, Indian Standard Time. Main point is that every race is late to stuff. Well, today I'll be reviewing Christmas in Compton. Hey, when something happens in South Central Los Angeles, nothing happens. Well, you know the rest. And if you don't know the rest, just look it up. I can't say the rest of those lyrics. Christmas in Compton was released in 2012. It stars Keith David, Omar Gooding, and Eric Roberts. Keith David, you likely best remember from There's Something About Mary, where he played the stepfather, Beans Over Franks. In this film he plays Big Earl, who operates the Christmas tree lot in Compton and is a stalwart in the community. Omar Gooding plays his son Derek. Derek also works on the tree lot, but he aspires to be a manager for many musicians who emerge out of Compton. He's already been doing that, but in past dealings with the record executive, played by Eric Roberts, he tends to get screwed over when it comes to the money that he could get, and so he's perceived by his own father as being a loser. In this case, he has another amazing group from Compton, a next Destiny's Child, as they say, and he approaches that record executive in the beginning. But the battle presses on between Eric Roberts, who I probably should look up the character name, but I'm just going to call him Eric Roberts for the rest of this review. And so a battle happens between Eric Roberts and Derek over this group, and Derek, really the battle being his goal and his dream to become a manager of great musical talent coming out of Compton, versus him inheriting the tree lot from Big Earl. This battle occurs even for Derek in his familiar relationships with Big Earl, as at the beginning of the movie Big Earl has some heart palpitations, and all of a sudden his future and outlook changes as well. So, that's really the crux of Christmas in Compton, and it goes from there in determining what will Derek do and how will the tree lot survive in Compton going forward. Christmas in Compton follows a path very normal in black entertainment. It is an enjoyable film if you enjoy those kinds of movies in this genre. It relies heavily on stereotypes, as many of the movies do, but at least it's self-aware of them, yet still continues to use them for humor. Now, not necessarily stereotypes within the black community, but stereotypes of other races that exist within Compton. In that sense, the movie has some really underlying themes and brings up some discussions of good magnitude towards both Compton and the black community. For example, a discussion through the Korean character in the film Ho of structural racism versus someone else bringing up that Obama is the current president. As well as what Big Earl stands for, which is he's a stalwart in the community, he worked very hard, and he wants to see the advancement of black people and people within the community of Compton through education. This battle with Derek, of course, who wants to pursue his dreams, and often the notion that within these communities, the only way to progress out of them is either becoming a musician or an athlete. So it's a real interesting discussion that exists within the film. Unfortunately, that doesn't progress in any way at all. That isn't what the movie is about. It's still a pretty, mindless film in what it's about to do, or what it's about, relying on this just kind of humor. It's in that certain realm of a genre for black film, and it serves its purpose in that way. So, do I wish that Christmas in Compton had more to it? and it delved into all of those themes that it brought up very generally and very minimally. Sure, of course, it could have made it an even better film, but it also is of a certain genre where that should be left for Jordan Peele or something like that. This is just very much the version of, as we would think of Hallmark films, that's in the realm of what this would be for black film. If you do enjoy black film and TV, you're going to really love the cast members that are in this, as well as some in smaller roles. For example, Miguel A. Nunez Jr. shows up as Delicious. He does a great job, had some funny lines that I enjoyed. If you aren't familiar with who he is, he's best known, unfortunately, for Juwanna Mann, being Juwanna Mann in Juwanna Mann. And then also you'll get to see a pre-Saturday Night Live Leslie Jones. So it's a great cast, enjoyable movie all in all for what it is. So on a scale of a partridge in a pear tree to 12 drummers drumming, I think it's only fitting to give Christmas in Compton 5 golden rings. And that's not necessarily to say that it's a 5 out of 12. It's a pretty good movie for what it is. I just think 5 golden rings for the battle of upward mobility and making lots of money that the movie is about, 5 golden rings seems fitting. Well, join me next for day 10. I will be reviewing 12 Pups for Christmas.